I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Good morning, everybody. Please join me. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
I can talk loud enough if you need me to. It's okay, I can do it. Well, good morning. Let's start our time together at Everett Unity this morning with a reading from the Daily Word. Prosperity, Sunday, June 9th. Sometimes we may worry, wondering if we will have enough of what we need. If thoughts of lack or limitation arise, we lift our thoughts from the things of the world to the trust of God. We focus our mind on the richness of divine life within us. We feel calm and assured as we remember we live in an abundant universe and we are heir to everything God is. Even when our worldly fortunes shift, we are abundant in spirit. As we align our thinking with divine mind in prayer, we become receptive to divine ideas that prosper us. We claim prosperity and feel empowered as we do. Our prosperity stems from our oneness with God. We count many blessings, feel grateful, and trust with understanding faith that we have enough. In the scripture from Psalms chapter 36, verse 8, they feast on the abundance of our house, and you give them drink from the river of your delights. Our opening statement, you'll find that inside your bulletin. I focus on the goodness of God and know prosperity. Let's say that together. I focus on the goodness of God and know prosperity. Right. Well, let's sing together. Savannah's going to lead us in song number 59 in your Melodies from the Heart songbook. When you find that, stand as you are able and we will sing together.
Presence of the Lord.
Well, good morning and welcome again to Everett Unity. I felt like we were a trio up here. Now that the podium is moved back a little bit, we were all in a row back here. And I thought, ooh, I'm closer to the microphone. I need to sing really quietly. Whew, scary. Well, I'd like to take a moment and introduce you to the people who are most visibly serving you today. You were greeted by our ushers, Randy and Nancy. Nadine is hosting Social Hour. Audio-video support is being provided by Josh and Terry. Our musicians, you've already had the pleasure of hearing them. Terry, our music program director, and Savannah. We love having you back once a month. My name is Cindy, and we have a fun, exciting service plan for you this morning. Amy Irwin is joining us this morning. Welcome, Amy. I'd like to tell you a little bit about her. Amy helps people connect with their spirituality through sound, in case you hadn't noticed. She is a vibrational sound practitioner, Reiki master, singer, and writer who's been holding compassionate, energetic space for others for 30 years. She began her career as a social worker in a hospital and then as an individual, couples, and group therapist. Through her spiritual exploration, Amy was called to other forms of healing arts. Working with her crystal singing bowls and her voice, Amy uses the gifts of sound, light, words, and song to help people release stuck energy stored in their bodies. Her guided sound journey, sound baths, and sessions encourage calmer nervous systems, healing, and soul reconnection. Aren't you glad you came here today? As I mentioned in the email, you will want to be in this lovely room to hear this amazing sound in person. I have no idea what it will sound like online, but you who are in the room are in the know, right? The right place. Well, I'd like to remind you, if you brought your cell phone in today, please turn it off, because seriously, like today of all days, let's not have any other sound in the room except the sound bowl and Amy's voice. And if you're visiting us for the first time today, or if for any other reason you'd like a packet of information describing Unity and more specific information about Everett Unity, you can ask the ushers on your way out. They'll send you home with a little packet. I just like to say we don't follow you home or beg you to come back, but we hope that you have a wonderful time and that you choose to come back and join us again. So a couple of announcements. I'd like to thank all of you who have already signed up to staff the information booth, the Everett Unity information booth during the Pride Street Fair. For those of you who are not aware, we're going to be putting up a table and a tent in the front yard of the church, because guess what? We're right downtown, right on the corner of 33rd and Colby, where all the cool stuff happens in Everett. All the cool people come by here. Many of the cool people come in here. We're going to have a table that will give our community information about Everett Unity during the Pride Street Fair. And we need 2 people to sit at the table. You're going to chat people up. You have a little information card to give them and just let them know that we are here. And the sign-up sheet is downstairs in the social hall. And if I'm remembering correctly, we have setup and the morning shift, and then maybe like the midday shift. We need the early afternoon and takedown. And you'll be finished by 3:30, I think, 3:30, 4 o'clock maybe. So that's the end of the day. So if you haven't signed up and you would like to, it's really fun. We did this during the Memorial Day weekend car show, and it was just a blast. I got to meet people who live in houses around our church. So that's the good thing. Find out who our neighbors are. I'd like to remind you that Book Study started a new book last meeting, the 28th, and so we're only two meetings into the new book. So if you would like to join us, we'd love to have you. It's The Miracle of Meditation by Thich Nhat Hanh, and it's a wonderful book. We meet on second and fourth Tuesday of the month from 12 noon until about 1:15. A little bit of reading, a little bit of discussion, and hanging out with cool, like-minded people, right? Our board of directors has shifted their meeting schedule for the summer. They're going to be meeting on Sunday afternoons, the third Sunday of the month. Between 12:30 and 1 o'clock, it just depends on how long people want to hang out in the social hall and visit. You're welcome to stay if you would really love to see a board meeting. That's funny to say that out loud. Do people love board meetings? I mean, the only thing that makes a board meeting even more exciting is if you watch it or participate on Zoom for a board meeting. That's a lot of fun. Whew, we used to love that during COVID shutdown. So anyway, this next Sunday, the 16th, will be the board meeting. And that's all the exciting announcements I have, but Miss Katie has an announcement. So hold on to your hats. Here she comes. My friend does not need a microphone either.
No, ma'am, I do not need a microphone.
Do not need a microphone.
For the TV people, I will use it. Our fundraiser for June is a 50-50 raffle. Who knows what that is? Oh, good. Okay.
That's why no one said, yippee!
Well, nobody said yippee because Katie always wins these. Yay! I'm going to tell you what it is, and then I'm going to tell you how to win, okay? Yeah. You're going to get 1 ticket is $1, 6 tickets is $5, 10 tickets, 12 tickets is $10. So, and then what you're going to want to do is you got to write your name on the back, because if you're not here when we draw, we want to make sure that we contact you so you can get your money. I'll tell you about the money in a second. If you want, bring a multitude of return address labels that you all probably have a drawer full of, as I do. If you don't, feel free to use mine. Yeah, now you know how I went. And you put, where it says your name and phone number, you put your name and phone number on that, and you put the other ticket in the bin. The church gets 50% of the money, and we divvy the other 50% between 4, maybe 5, depending on how much we have, how much money we got. We've got.
You might be lying, it's only
3 people? 3 winners? 3 winners? So you're going to get a lot of money. So the way I win is I always buy tickets on the first day. That'd be today. And then we're going to sell them next week, so then I buy 10 tickets that week. And then we have 1 more week of sales downstairs after church. I buy 10 tickets then. So I'm spread out. And I always win, at least one, of the drawings. So if you think you should have action on the other 4, the other 3 drawings, get your tickets today, and then buy some more next week and the following week. Get your labels, or just write your name and your phone number on the ticket. Mary and I will be downstairs. It's your investment. It's your investment in the church, and it's your investment in your prosperity, as we spoke of earlier. Any questions? Did I explain it? Okay? All right. Thank you.
It's just kind of a fun little thing to get a little excitement going. If you are watching online or if you are here for the first time, you will see that we are not actually a normal church that advertises gambling from the front of the room. I thought about that. I had a little anxiety about that, but I thought, how else are people going to find out? And it's going to be fun, so. All right, well, let's sing together again. We're going to sing from the same songbook, song number 65, Stand As You Are Able, and we'll sing.
Now, if you're like me and you like to look at the notes, it is in your other book as well, the old school book. If you just like the words, you're at 65 in the new book. If you want the old school notes and everything.
We don't have to have that because you will help us with
I will, yeah, just follow me. But if the leader doesn't have the notes, then we're screwed. God and I
God and I are one. God is love, then I must be loving. I let the love of God flow through me now, and I am healed. God and I are one. God and I are one. God is peace, then I must be peaceful. I let the peace of God flow through me now, and I am healed. First verse one more time. God and I are one. God and I are one. God is love, then I must be loving. I let the love of God flow through me now, and I am healed. Great job. We got it.
All right, let's settle in and get ready to enjoy having Amy here to speak and share the beautiful sounds from the sound bowl with us.
Good morning again. Good morning again. Thank you. That's more like it. Okay. Welcome, everyone. It's beautiful, beautiful Sunday. I am so very happy to be here. So happy that when I was speaking with Cindy about this month's Unity Power, it was actually the perfect one for me. And how many, you're all here probably familiar with Snoopy, right? Yeah. He's my favorite. In fact, I've got him up here. He's in my watch. But I literally could have done the Snoopy happy dance, which I'm not going to do right now because I would probably knock everything over. So we're not going to do that. But as anyone would do when you're preparing to be with people, you prepare. And as I was preparing for today, I did what most of us would do, which is do a wild internet search for the perfect definition of imagination. And then I decided to do something different. I decided to go within and discover my own definition of imagination. The way I did this is a technique called free writing. And if you're not familiar with that, I'm seeing a nod, so someone is, which is wonderful. Free writing is when you take a specific period of time and surprise, pen and paper, not computer. What is that? Exactly, what is that? What is pen and paper? But you basically will sit there and you write. You don't stop. You don't think about what's coming out onto the page. Even if you're writing, this is so dumb, I can't think of what to write. This is so dumb, I can't think of what to write. You just keep going. And then when you're done, you see what's there. So I did that with imagination, and I started by saying, imagination is. And I just wrote. I thought I would come up with a few good definitions, but nothing shocked me more to have more than 50 ideas about imagination on the page. I could choose to spend the rest of our time together going through all of those, but I'm not going to. I would rather do that by telling you a story. We're going to talk about our stories today, and when we finish, we're going to have a chance to have some fun and to use our imaginations with this singing bowl. So the story I want to share with you is about a little boy, and he is in elementary school. He loves to daydream. He also loves to draw unicorns. There's something else about this little boy. His mom died. And since he lost his mom, he spends a lot more time daydreaming and drawing even more unicorns, and maybe not paying attention to school quite as much as he used to because he's hurting. So his teacher has noticed this, and his teacher has spoken to his dad about it. One morning, this little boy's father says, "Hey, we need to have a talk." And they're at breakfast, and Dad talks about how he's really kind of disappointed in his son because, he hasn't been doing well at school. He hasn't tried out for the swim team. And his teacher has told Dad that he's drawing horses. Now, the son instantly corrects him and says, "They're unicorns." Dad keeps right on going as if he never heard the son and says, well, you want to take these horseback riding lessons and you're too afraid to get on a horse. And then Dad says something very, very powerful to his son. Dad says, "We can't use Mom's death to be an excuse to not get the old job done." The boy's face falls. And when it does, it's very clear that he's just emotionally shutting down. Dad finishes this little talk with his son by saying, "It's time to get your head out of the clouds and keep your feet on the ground. Stop daydreaming and face your problems, okay?" And the little boy nods, half smiles, and half-heartedly says, "Okay." And that's that. Except it's not. The boy I'm speaking of is named Bastian, and he is the central character in a story by a German author, Michael Ende. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I'm not a native German speaker. But it is a book called The Never-Ending Story. Ah, yes. Also, the 1984 film. I'm so glad I'm not the only one that knows this film. And if you have not watched this film, please forgive me for spoiler alerts. This is one of my favorite films of all time still, even though it was produced 40 years ago. And one of the things I love about it is that it really shows the power of imagination at work. And because this film was created prior to computer-generated special effects, everything in there had to be done very carefully with many people to make it happen. The Never-Ending Story truly has a tremendous amount to teach us about our imaginations and our own stories. The Never-Ending Story is about a quest. Bastian finds this book that is called The Never-Ending Story, and he takes it from a shop. And the shop owner, before he takes it, says, no, this book is not for you. This is no ordinary book. But Bastian, being curious, being a child, leaves a note and takes the book. And as he starts to read, we learn that this story is about a quest. And the central character on this quest is named Atreyu. Atreyu is also a boy, and he's also a warrior. He is tasked with something absolutely phenomenal. He is asked to save an entire world. The leader of that world is also a child, and she is known as the Empress. She's very sick, and the death of this world that's getting destroyed is also tied to her being sick. The name of that world is Fantasia. And yes, it is created of all of our imaginings. It is our hopes. It is our dreams. It is our fantasies. Throughout this story, Bastian says a couple things that really struck me very powerfully. And as this world is unfolding, the more he reads and the more involved he gets in it, he has some really serious doubts. And he says, "But that's impossible." He also says, "But it's only a story." But it's only a story. We have so many stories that live within us. They often are the basis of how we define ourselves. We talk about what we do for work. We talk about what we do outside of work for fun. We talk about our families. We talk about how our parents or caregivers are or were. Each of our lives are a rich, complicated story. If I were to ask you, "What's your story?" what would you say? Or as often said at the beginning, the dreaded question at the start of every single job interview you've ever been on, "Tell me about yourself." What would you say? How would you answer that? Whatever you are saying, however you answer, you are telling a story. And that story is your own personal narrative that is based on your beliefs. Stories also connect us. We have our own individual story, but when we are in a group, that amplifies our stories. It is really powerful because groups can help support us. They can be witness to us when we have gone through the most powerful times in our lives. Groups can support stories, they can reinforce stories, they can keep those stories alive. Because of that, individuals and groups, we are constantly in this dance where we are reinforcing these stories. This ultimately creates our collective story. You've probably heard of collective consciousness, that idea that there are certain thoughts, feelings that just are out there. It's because we're all contributing to them, even though we can't see them. Which leads me to a really powerful part of the never-ending story. We're going back there. As with any quest, Atreyu faces several hardships during his quest to save Fantasia and save the Empress. He encounters this incredible force that is destroying Fantasia, and it's called the Nothing. When the Nothing approaches, it has these huge, black, dark, menacing, billowing clouds just moving towards you. There are cracks of thunder in the air, and there are winds that scream so loudly and are so strong that they literally wipe away entire landscapes and every being living in them. Atreyu ultimately has to face an enemy that is trying to help the Nothing succeed. And when he meets him, he asks three very powerful questions. He says, "Why is Fantasia dying?" And this creature says, "Because people have begun to lose their hopes and forget their dreams." And we all know that hopes and dreams require imagination. Atreyu asks the being, "What is the nothing?" And the being says, "It is the despair and the emptiness that's left." And then the third and final question that Atreyu asks this creature before they battle is, "Why are you helping the nothing?" And the being's response is a very chilling one. The being says, "Because people who have no hopes are easy to control. And whoever has the control has the power." We've all had our own nothings in our lives. These are times of profound change. They often come very unexpectedly. And these are times where we can feel very confused and very powerless. And frankly, so shaken that we question the beliefs, that everything we think about ourselves or feel we know about ourselves, we question it. We can feel powerless. It's as if our inner landscapes have been completely clear-cut, and that the only thing that is able to take root and grow are the doubts that come from those inner voices we hear. You know the ones. They sound like these statements. You're not good enough. You're not worthy. You're bad. Your and what you did is absolutely unforgivable. And perhaps the most painful of all, you're unlovable. Any of these sound familiar? Yep. The interesting thing is these tend to crop up more during the most difficult times during our lives, our own nothings, if you will. I definitely have had my own. But I have a question for you, and I ask it with the deepest sense of compassion and gentleness as I ask it. How did those messages help you? Have any of those become part of your own never-ending story because you keep repeating them to yourselves? I know I was really guilty of that during a time in my life when I was going through just loss after loss after loss after loss. And my own never-ending story loop was a lot about failure and a lot about not being good enough. But really, who has the power here? We talked a little bit earlier about doubt, and that really can be one of the greatest blocks to imagining and believing that we'll get through it, whatever it is. I truly believe that whatever it is, we can get through it together. Bastian experiences incredible doubt at the height of the never-ending story. This is a time when it appears that Fantasia has completely collapsed. There is no more world left. And Atreyu feels, as the warrior sent to save the world, completely defeated. Miraculously, he is able to find the Empress, and he says to her, you know, I failed. I failed you. I failed this world. I didn't succeed. And the Empress says, no, you didn't. Atreyu is very confused by this, and the Empress says, no, you didn't fail because you brought someone with you who can save us. It is a human child. And he's listening to every single word we say right now. Bastian is reading this in this book, and when he reads this, he goes through a whole round of doubt and that's impossible, and I can't believe it. They can't really be talking about me. And then when the Empress reveals what he needs to do to save the world, he says, it's only a story. Atreyu questions why Bastian's not coming to help them. And the Empress says, he doesn't realize he has the power to save our world. He simply can't imagine that one little boy could be that important. Bastian doubts again, and the last remaining structure in Fantasia is cracking apart, and the Empress has tears in her eyes, and she pleads with Bastian. She says, Bastian, why don't you do what you dream, Bastian? Bastian says, but I can't. I gotta keep my feet on the ground. In those final moments, Bastian has a major courageous shift. He makes a different choice. He chooses to do what he dreams, and he ultimately saves Fantasia by recreating it with the power of his imagination. He creates a new story by believing something different. It's only a story. What does your story sound like? Whatever it is, you are co-creating it. Whether it is you're continuing to believe what was said to you, even if anybody else in your life could look and go, that is so not true about you. That's not how I know you at all. But when we're keeping it alive, we're co-creating that. And ultimately, we're not only co-creating with people, we are co-creating with the divine. So I also ask you, what kind of stories outside of yourself feed your imagination? Because you have this going on, but if you think about it, we have plenty of things in this world to focus on that are not so great. Turn on the news. It's a 24/7 cycle of the majority of it's negative stuff. Also, if you're watching things that are violent and are causing pain, how is that feeding your imagination? What is that feeding your imagination? What is the cumulative effect of all of these when we have our stories of our own pain that we're working through, and then we consciously choose to engage with things that feed more pain into our imagination? What energy is that putting out into the world? Sounds a lot like the nothing, doesn't it? You are enough. You are worthy. And you are lovable. Why? Because the true story is that we are spiritual beings having human experiences. We are actually sung into being by the divine. How we continue that song is up to us. Our thoughts, beliefs, and stories really are the lyrics, the melody, the rhythm of a divine song. What we often forget is the divine is always listening. We are creating this song together. What do you want to be singing back? What do you want to be singing for yourself? If you don't like how the song goes, you can change it. It may take some time, definitely take some help from other people, but you can change it. Imagine if you believed that as long as you have life in you, there's still time to do what you dream. Imagine if you believed you were enough, you're worthy, and lovable no matter what. Imagine if you believed that what you want to create for yourself, your community, and this planet, and every being in it, is possible. Before we move into our meditation, I'd like to further inspire your imagination with this quote that comes from Marianne Williamson, who, in addition to writing beautiful spiritual books, was also a Unity minister at the very first Unity church I attended in Warren, Michigan. This is her quote, and it is so beautiful. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. And it's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So, I'll make a confession. My little timer went off. Okay, good, we're good. Great, awesome. Okay, I was like, did I go over? Okay. Now is the fun part where we get to use our imaginations. And I'm also, for the sake of time, still going to have this nearby. So, I'm going to invite everybody to we're going to do a couple things together. Let's just take a deep breath together, and as we do, we're going to make an audible sigh. So let's go, inhale, and ah. Doesn't that feel good? Let's do it again. Inhale, and out. Ah. One more time, just because it feels so good. Inhale, and ah. Okay, and if you need to do a little shaking, don't want to put anybody to sleep, but if you need to shake a little, that's fine. Okay. I'm going to ask you what we're going to do is I'm going to lead you through meditation. You're going to hear the singing bowl. I'll be guiding you. And when we're done, I'm going to give you a couple minutes of silence, just to kind of allow everything to come in and come together. And then I will just tell you when we're done, okay? So I'm going to invite everybody to just gently close your eyes. Get comfortable. Again, just notice your breath. Notice how it's moving in and out, very naturally. You're not trying to force anything, you're just allowing. Just allow. I want you to just gently bring your attention to your heart space. Notice what's there. And as we're getting started, allow yourself to let whatever comes to mind. What is something within you that you would like to shift with your imagination? It can be anything. Maybe it's that story that you're telling yourself you're not good enough. Maybe it's that story that you're telling yourself there isn't anything I can do. Maybe it's something that you're not too kind about yourself. You're saying something about yourself that's just not kind. Just whatever pops in, what is it that you want to change? As you're settling in, and now that you have that, and if you don't have it, it'll come to you, believe me. We're going to take 3 deep breaths together. I'm going to tell you how we do it so that it makes sense. We're going to find ourselves at the center, and we're going to breathe, taking a breath from Mother Earth energy and drawing that up through our bodies, through the soles of our feet. We're going to do that for the first breath. And then the second breath, we are going to open to the light from above, and maybe that's the sun or the moon or a star that you connect with. And you're going to pull that light down in through the top of your head, very center of the top of your head. And then our third breath, we are going to breathe and bring those energies together in our heart and breathe out light, and I will guide you through it. So let's begin going ahead and taking a beautiful deep breath, pulling energy up from the earth, feeling that energy move through the feet, the legs, the abdomen and torso, chest, neck, face, that energy just filling you up, really nurturing energy. And now we're going to go ahead and open to that light from above. Taking that deep breath in, bringing that light down, down, down through the top of the head. And then feeling that light just fill you up with every single cell. Every single cell is bathed in light. Now we're going to take a third breath. And as we do this, we are bringing in that earth energy and that light energy from above. Taking that big, beautiful inhalation now, bringing those two energies to the heart. Feeling those energies mix, feeling those energies dance together. And as you breathe out, you are breathing out light from your heart, from all sides of your heart, and that light expands around you. You are safe. You are held. You are able to dream. As you are in this light, there is a being that is waiting for you. This is a being that is ready to help you change your story. This is a being that sees you, knows you, loves you. Ask for that being to come forward to you now. And that being can look like anything you want. You'll know. Have that conversation. This is a very friendly conversation. Is there something that this being wants to say to you? Is there any wisdom that can be shared with you about this story that you want to change? If there's anything that you wish to leave behind, this being is willing to take that for you so that it can be composted into something better. This being also has a gift for you. Open your heart. Open your imagination. Open yourself to receiving. Receive that gift now. And thank that being for this gift. Know that you too can connect whenever you want. You can be reminded when you forget. Know that you have someone else that's helping you. And as you say your farewells, allow yourself to be surrounded by light, to feel that light within you, to feel the light of your heart, to feel the light of your imagination. I invite you to gently open your eyes. I'll leave you with this final thought. You are meant to shine. Imagine that. Thank you.
You are my mother, you are my father, you are my love, you are my friend. You are the beginning, you are the center, and you are beyond the end. You are the colors of the rainbow, you are the pure white light in me. You are the rivers, you are the mountains, you are the sun, you are the sea. And I love you so. You help me see, to see you in all is to see you in me. I'm in you and you're in me. You are my sister, you are my brother, you are my love, you are my friend. You are the Buddha, you are the Krishna, you are the Christ, you are my friend, and I love you so. You help me see you in all is to see you in me. I'm in you and you're 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 in me.
There feels like there shouldn't be any more talking. Don't you feel it? We normally applaud for our speakers when they're finished. But we had a thing happen in this sanctuary this morning that it didn't feel right, did it? If we can learn nothing from this month of studying imagination, but how to imagine ourselves walking differently in the world, interacting with others differently, and imagine a different way for our world to be, we will have accomplished what we set out to do on June 1st. Imagining, I'm going to use your words, that you are enough, that you are worthy, that you are lovable, will change everything about the way you are in this world and the way you interact with others. And your whole world will change. And then the world for all of us will change. Think about our world and how many people operate from a lack of worthiness, a lack of being enough, a lack of being lovable, and how we all carry that pain because of how they interact, how we interact with them. They are us, right? We are them. So remembering you are enough, you are worthy, you are lovable, and that changes everything. Okay, we're going to sing together congregational song number 57. Pardon me? Okay, we can clap for the speaker, absolutely. Yeah. She does definitely deserve that, for sure. All right, so find your songbook, Melodies from the Heart, song number 57, and stand as Savannah will lead us in another song.
I have decided to be my God self. I have decided to be my God self. I have decided to be
Don't you call me out on my lip syncing. I'm singing in my head. I sound just like you when I sing in my head. Imagination, power of imagination. It's my world, and I'm making it up. Well, now it's time to bless our offering and thank our Creator for the many blessings that we have been given and affirm our gratitude. So let's start by affirming the truth about ourselves. And I want you to really think about this. We're talking about the truth of who we are. So when you say these words, feel them. My name is, and you use your name, and I am prosperous, always and in all ways. Let's say it together. My name is, and I am prosperous, always and in all ways. Remember, always meaning forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, and in all ways as in all forms. So let's take our offering. Hold it next to your heart. Literally or figuratively, you have the power of imagination. So imagine this gift that you are giving to this church community, this spiritual community that you have chosen to be part of. You're sharing your prosperity. It's coming into this space. It's coming through us. It allows us to have our music, to have our speakers, to have our programs, to keep this lovely building here as part of the historic fabric of our community. This offering will be a blessing to the world, and it starts with you. So let's bless it together. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I share, and all that I receive. Thank you, Spirit. Amen.
Looking back on the times that you stumbled, Lord, I know how that feels. Heavy-hearted, tired and weary, everything's so unreal. Maybe you thought you were all alone, maybe just too much pride. You should have looked within, 'cause I tell you, friend, there's a powerful force inside. Let go, let God move in, and then watch your Christ light shine with a heavenly glow. Let go, let God be strong, and just move on. We're wired to a power much stronger than we'll ever know. Never worry if he'll show up, 'cause you know that he's always there. With all of his saints and all of his angels, nothing that they can't bear. Take a deep breath and step out in faith. Learn to enjoy the ride. I tell you, friend, relax and tap into that powerful force inside. Let go, let God move in, and then watch your Christ light shine with a heavenly glow. Let go, let God be strong, and just move on. We're wired to a power much stronger than we'll ever know. There's nothing to it, I know you can do it. I promise it's working for me. There's only one must, and a neighbor that's trust. Like truth, it can set you free. Let go, let God move in, and then Christ light shine with a heavenly glow. Let go, let God, be strong, and just move on. We're wired to a power much stronger than we'll ever. Wired to a power much stronger than we'll ever. Wired to a power much stronger than we'll ever know. Let go, let God.
Let's just take a moment and express our gratitude for the prosperity that flows through this community. The finances, the people, the love, the sharing, the opportunity to share this space together. We are grateful. Amen. Amen. All right, well, let's welcome our kids in. I'd like to remind you, we're going to circle the room here in a second. There are, how many, what was our count this morning? 47? All right, we can make the outside circle then. That's all it takes, folks. It takes mid-40s. We can make the outside circle. Our kids are going to come in. We'll say our prayer of protection, sing our peace song. Come downstairs and share refreshments with us if you have time. And buy tickets. And buy tickets, says Katie. Our prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.